The following is a production of White Lightning Entertainment. This is Burning Rubber Radio.
Up to Stenhouse. He's not going to be happy about that. Stenhouse going for more.
Yeah, he's been 3 wide already.
Cowboy up. It's time to go. $1 million on the line. There's not a lot of time, but Kyle Busch will pay you back, and here it comes.
Oh, boy.
Still sideways.
He's
Look
in
him
the
in the
wall.
fence. He's done.
Pow.
There you go.
Oh, a little persuasion. All right, boy. I've had enough. Time to go.
Joey Logano has won the 40th annual NASCAR All-Star Race and $1 million.
Burning Rubber Radio is brought to you by Drive Refine. It's more than driver coaching. It's Drive Refine. Visit driverefine.com to get signed up today. Now from the White Lightning Entertainment Studios in Statesville, North Carolina, here's your host, Andy DeLay.
Burning Rubber, baby. Welcome, everybody, to the fastest 60 minutes in motorsports, Burning Rubber Radio. I'm Andy DeLay, along beside the producer himself, Wayne Owens.
What's
and,
up?
and the NASCAR chef, John Dix. How you doing, buddy? We're here to talk All-Star Race, talk Fast 12. You know what we need, Wayne? We need one of those ringside bells they got in boxing. Ding, ding, ding. And watch, Kyle Busch get the shit knocked out of him by, already we're starting with the, by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. All good stuff.
Which we'll have the video of that later on in the show, too, by the way.
That's right. So if you're listening on the radio or you're listening on Red Hot Country Radio, WTUC out in Toccoa, up there in Thurmont, Maryland, wherever you're at, you can also check us out on YouTube and Rumble. Yeah, and you can see these videos we're talking about. But anyway, man, we got tons to talk about. Not only NASCAR, Formula One ran this weekend. We have got Kyle Larson, who, to me personally, like this or not, is a GOAT candidate out there not tearing it up, it's a bad thing, kicking everyone's ass out in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, qualifying 5th. Anyway, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and John's got his recipe, all kinds of stuff. And Wayne, we got folks that help us out too.
Oh yeah, dude, we've got so much going on this week on the show here, and actually, you know what? Before we forget, because we tend to do this every once in a while, where we've got to talk about our sponsors here. First and foremost, we got to talk about Drive Refine over at driverefine.com. Go say hi to Joey Coulter and Austin Terrio. And remember, folks, it's not just driver coaching; it's Drive Refine.
Drive Refine.
And with the echo there, I like that. Almost in stereo. We're getting there. We're getting better. And then, of course, you got to go check out the folks over at MyPillow and mypillow.com/BRR. And make sure to use the promo code BRR at checkout to get your order shipped for free.
Shipped.
Yes.
For free.
Shipped.
You got a what, Wayne?
That's a P in there.
It's a P.
That's exactly what I said. Shipped for free.
For free.
I swear, folks. He's starting early this week. He's starting early. Oh well. Me and John, we ripped on him plenty last week about Sergeant DeLay.
Yeah.
So
We picked on poor Andy bad last week.
yeah, we did.
He's back with it.
But you know what? Something else we got to talk about too, because coming up again later in the show this week, we're going to have the final lap. And
Yes.
I'll tell you what, John DeRugeris, man, 2 for 2 so far.
Now, if you want to bet, folks, you need to listen to him.
Yep. And you know what kills me is, speaking of bets too, and we're going to get into it more later on, shortly after the final lap here, and later on in the show here. Did you know, Andy, that Joey Logano was actually down a negative 1,000 to 1 odds last night in DraftKings?
No wonder John was so happy, our final lap guy here, because he must have put in $10 down on Logano and made $1,000.
No, so interestingly enough, when I say he was down 1,000 to 1 odds, it was a 1 in 1,000 chance that he was going to win.
Oh, that'd have been a $10,000 payoff.
No,
$1,000, 1,000, one time.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe my numbers are reversed. It was either one in 1,000 chance or 1,000 to 1 chance. But either way, I'm thinking the negative might be the first number.
We're not mathematicians here, folks.
Yeah, we're really not.
Yes,
we're really
by
not.
far.
And but either way, because I was tempted to put in a bet last night. I was hoping Chris was going to do some, our buddy Chris Busher, because he was at 2,400 odds to win.
Wow, man! I wish Chris would do some.
And that payout, if Chris would have won last night, Andy, I was doing the math before they closed it at 10 to go. If Chris would have won the All-Star race with the odds that he was at, a $25 bet would have paid out almost $800.
There you go, man. Now your math is a little better.
Good job, Wayne.
Shut up.
Yeah, we're proud of you, man.
Love you guys too, assholes. And but with that said, here, folks, we have got us.
Don't bring that duck in here.
Speaking of assholes, Andy. With that said, folks, we've got to step aside and take that first forward view of the show. When we come back, news of the week.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
What can we learn from a child?
That spreading joy
is more important than a trophy.
That when we help others, we heal ourselves.
That with a little love,
we can make the biggest impact.
At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
Because all children deserve joy.
And hope.
And love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future
is our future.
And there's still so much they can teach us.
Burning Rubber is social. Follow us on X at twitter.com/BRR_radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And we're back. It's Burning Rubber. Producer Wayne, NASCAR chef John Dix, Andrew DeLay.
The what? The NASCAR chef?
I said the NASCAR chef.
You're over there drinking whiskey this time of the day, man.
Dude, the whiskey doesn't come out until about 10 hours from now, but okay.
Come on, Andy. Don't tell on him.
Oh, I guess I should. Hey, real quick,
and it's kind of hard to drink whiskey when it's labeled Gold Peak Sweet Tea. But
okay, well, I guess you can spike anything. But anyway, we got to talk a little bit about our social medias, folks. We're going to ask you to head over to Facebook, Burning Rubber Radio. All of a sudden, we've been like going viral. I don't know why, because maybe it's because the NASCAR chef knows how to work the Facebook over there. But anyway, go over there and follow us. And also TikTok, which I get to run most of. Yep. Head over to TikTok. Follow us on TikTok, Burning Rubber Radio. Now, not only do you get cool updates and the stupid stuff that I like to post up there, but you also get every week I do a rundown video of the race. We do a power rankings, and I want to also welcome everyone from the Big Dog in Martinsburg, West Virginia, who's also doing all of our social media stuff over there, running all of our videos. So, folks, please go over there, like Burning Rubber Radio.
Yep, most definitely. Burning Rubber Radio on Facebook, Burning Rubber Radio on TikTok. Also, cannot forget that we are on the Instagrams as well at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. And then also our X page, folks, which we're going to be doing some serious overhauls to our X page too to get it up and going again like we had for a while. So it'll be twitter.com/BRR_radio for that one. And, man, just a whole bunch of stuff that we've got going on.
Don't forget, guys, YouTube. Go on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yep, youtube.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Rumble.com as well. Search for Burning Rubber Radio over there.
I'm proud of our Rumble page. I think we got 6 subscribers over there.
Hey, you know what? 6 can become 6,000 real quick. So
I wish.
Hey, you never know what can happen when it comes to the world of social media. You can either be up or you can be down. Either way. Yep. Speaking of being up, though, and getting his second win in the All-Star race, got to talk about Joey Logano. And Logano led all but one lap this past weekend at the All-Star race. And the only other person to lead any laps at all was Denny Hamlin.
Denny the Hamster Hamlin, which, by the way, in post-race, I really liked what Hamlin was saying. If you didn't like the race, you'd like what was after the race. Talking about the fight.
Yeah, right. Talking about I'll tell you what, folks, we've got some angles on that here that we are going to, if you didn't catch it last night, there were like, the best part is there were like 4 different angles to this thing last night. So we're going to show them off to you here real quick, at least 2 of them here. And it gets really, in my opinion, really, really good. And
yeah, it gets super good because Kyle was sashaying back over to his hauler like hum-de-dum-de-dum-dum after the race. And what do you think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was doing there standing by the ramp at his hauler? Going to say hi to him and give him a big kiss?
Oh, no. And so, folks, real quickly here, we're going to head over. We're going to check this out because if you missed it last night, honestly, you missed a whole mess of stuff. Here we go.
And tell them what's going on, Wayne, for the folks listening.
And for the folks on the radio, you'll hear Kyle and Ricky talking here. Ricky's like, I didn't touch you. Kyle's like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, he did. And he's like, no, you hit the wall, then you hit me. And Kyle, I didn't think he was being a smart. And
then, of course, here's the fight. Oh, and there goes Pacras. Oh my God, man, that was a good one. And so for the folks that were listening on the radio there for a second, of course, you hear a lot of the fireworks in the background. You can barely kind of make out anything that Stenhouse and Busch were saying there, but the general gist of it is that, you know, Ricky's like, dude, why'd you run me into the wall like that? There was no call for that at all whatsoever. And Kyle's like, well, you're the one that sent me into the wall first. And the thing of the matter is realistically,
he didn't send Kyle into the wall. He just got into the back of him.
No, he didn't even get into the back of him. So here's the interesting thing, and this is the thing from this is the one time Ty Gibbs was useful for something. It's that if you go back and look at the dash cam when they showed the replay from the race, it clearly shows that Ricky did take Kyle 3 wide there in the corner, but he did not push him up into the wall. There was enough separation there between the 2 of them because Kyle simply just had the air taken off the car because of side draft. Other than that,
there is no side draft at Wilkesboro. There's none of that.
But still, regardless of the fact is he took the air off the car.
You know, all these racers know that if you go on the outside of somebody and the guy below you gets loose, he's going into you. So if you try to pass somebody on the outside, you know, that's just what you got to put up with if they get loose because they're coming your way.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is that Busch got a little pissy, and I think it goes beyond Ricky incident, whatever. I think it goes to the fact that Kyle's not having a great season. And he said it all because at the end of the fight, Ricky got back up and told Kyle, man, watch out at Charlotte. And oh God, we're watching the fight again.
Yeah, and of course there's another.
But anyway, he got up there and Ricky said, watch out at Charlotte. And Kyle says, I don't give a F about it because I suck as bad as you do.
You're right, exactly. And so, but yeah, I mean, just watching the alternate angle of the fight there, and then of course, actually here we're going to go back to a different one here where you can actually see crew members getting into it now as far as the fight goes. he's like, dude, get the hell off his trailer. Like, get off of there. Like, stay away from there.
Well, here's what I don't like about the whole thing. And if I was NASCAR, I would have a big problem with this. You said this may have been Ricky's father, whoever the hell it is, had Kyle by the throat.
Right.
And wouldn't let go. I mean, that was bigger than him getting hit by Ricky.
And I think
the
this
guy
angle
would not
here
let
shows
go.
it. I think this angle here shows it for folks watching on or listening on the radio. This is the fight
Here
where
we
Kyle
go. This is
actually-
the guy right here. Yeah, he's got Kyle by the throat, man. They're trying to pull him off, and Kyle's like, "Get off of me, dude." He actually landed a punch or two on this cap, but he wouldn't let Kyle go.
Right, and then you can see one of Ricky's crew members actually, and this is where it gets pretty messed up too, is Kyle's, again, and you see the other angle of Kyle's crew. He's like, get the hell off the trailer.
Oh, man, they're doing body slams. Made the WWE proud here, bro. That's
that they did.
Anyway, man, that was as fun as the race, if not more fun to watch. Watch that. It's always fun to watch Kyle Busch get punched, or any of the Busch brothers get punched. It's always fun, even though I like them both.
And then of course, now here's another great take of the. It's not a video per se, but it's an image here, and you can see where if you look at the full screen image, you can see where Kyle clearly got smacked.
Oh yeah, Kyle's feeling it this week. During the week before the show here, you're listening. I'm sure Kyle's going to be black and blue next time you see him at Charlotte.
Yep, 100% hands down. And then, but one other bit of good news though that we'll touch on here before we get to our next foreign fuel, because by the way, so the a bit of other good news here. The topic we're going to get on here, Andy, and this is going to be one that's it's another kind of soapbox week for us here. Talking about qualifying rainouts, because I heard something during the broadcast this past weekend that I'm not gonna lie, it just makes me question again some of the things in the NASCAR rulebook a little bit. So we'll touch on that all here in a little bit once we come back from our next commercial break. But a little bit of USAC news here. Some good news there is that Logan Seavey leads the final 2 laps at Sweet Springs out in Missouri this past Sunday night, and he bolted out of the gate with a fast qualifying time at Missouri Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex, and followed it up by closing out the night with a feature win. So some good stuff for Logan Seavey over the USAC late models, and or actually no, I think those are the wings.
And you know, everyone out there's going, "When are you gonna talk about Kyle Larson?"
Oh, we'll be talking about Kyle coming up a little later on in the show, because we have got a whole lot to talk about with
I can't wait.
Man, it's going to be a good one to talk about here. We've also got the NHRA out at Route 66 Speedway and out in Chicago, or not Chicago, but just outside of Chicago in Joliet this past weekend too. So we've got NHRA, we've got Formula One, we got Young Money coming up later on in the show,
and we have Olympic diving at North Wilkesboro by the truck drivers.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Yeah.
Oh my God, there had to have been 5 feet of water in the infield.
Actually, it was 4 feet.
Really? For real? Huh?
It was confirmed 4 feet of water in the infield, to the point that Truck Series drivers were out taking a swim.
I saw that. That's funny.
And tires were floating down the
exactly.
down pit road.
Yeah, and I loved Larry Mack's perspective on it last week, this past weekend. He's like, we got 4 tire compounds here this week. We got the hard compound, the soft compound, the normal compound, and then we got the floating compound.
That was something else.
Yeah, it really was. But with that said here, folks, we got to step aside. We got to take that next foreign fuel, and when we come back, we're going to be getting into that interesting discussion about qualifying rainouts. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, well, we'll fill you in when we come back.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. And in our family, we're used to getting involved, and I encourage you to do the same, especially when it comes to caring for your loved ones. When I think about Alzheimer's and the impact it had on my family, I recognize that losing a race isn't such a bad day after all. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. What can we learn from a child?
That spreading joy
is more important than a trophy.
That when we help others,
we heal ourselves.
That with a little love,
we can make the biggest impact.
At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
because all children deserve joy
and hope
and love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future
is our future.
And there's still so much they can teach us.
Visit us online at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
And we are back on Burning Rubber. Producer Wayne, Andrew DeLay, the NASCAR chef, John Dix. And, boys, I got to be honest with you. Topic for discussion this week. Qualifying rainouts. Now, folks at home, you're probably thinking, what in the hell is he trying to talk about with qualifying rainouts, and how would that be a viable topic for discussion? Well, the reason I bring up this topic, I heard this on the broadcast this past weekend over on Fox. Mike and Kevin were talking about it a little bit here, where they literally had all but 2 cars qualified for the All-Star Open, and in the process of that, they canceled qualifying because obviously it started, pouring rain, legitimately pouring rain at North Wilkesboro. They had all but 2 cars left to qualify. That's all of them were done, but 2 cars. Noah Gregson was the last car to qualify before everything happened. Ty Gibbs was the last one to qualify before everything went sideways with the rain. So the thing I want to bring up here in regards to topic for discussion is that NASCAR, in their ultimate greatness of mind, whatever you want to call that, I personally call it a brain fart, they decide to revert back, pretty much wipe out the entire qualifying results. So, because Alex Bowman was supposed to start on the pole because of his qualifying run yesterday, on Friday. And so with that qualifying run being wiped out, they go in order of points by the standings. So that puts Joey Logano on the pole instead of Alex Bowman. And realistically, now this is just my take on it, NASCAR, again, I know you're going to hate me for this. I really don't care. It's the fact of the matter is that if qualifying is that far done, let it just stand. Do it like you would a normal race. If it is over halfway, whatever is there stands, and then those final 2 just take the end of longest line, which in this case would be the final 2 spots that are in for the All-Star Open. And instead of reverting everything and just going by points, because at that point, that virtually puts all of that work that those crews have done, all of the mechanics have done, all the engineers have done, everything like that, and it just throws it away, in my personal opinion.
Would that be fair to the ones that didn't qualify?
Honestly, I mean, it would, because there were only 2 that didn't qualify. There were only 2 that didn't get a chance to. Now, again, if they had only gotten 2 or 3 cars in total that had qualified, then at that point, okay, fine. That's fine. Go ahead and just revert to the point standings order at that point. But much like a normal race, if you're already more than halfway done, it needs to just stand at that point with those that have already qualified, gotten their positions, and then everybody else just kind of filters in at that point in time. Or from an alternative perspective on that one as well too, is that as soon as the rain lets up and you can finish qualifying, much like you would finish a race, go ahead and finish qualifying at that point.
Yeah, I think that would be more fair for the guys who didn't qualify then.
So, Andy, what say you in that case, brother?
I say that they take qualify and throw it out the window, period, along with all of these, what are those points we guaranteed you to get in their weight? What is it?
The stage points you're talking about?
No, not stage points. What helped you qualify for the race that guarantees you to make the race? I just got a mind blank.
No, that's the charter system that does that.
Charter system. Take that and throw it in the garbage too.
Right.
If you really want to have some fun, treat it like a Saturday night down at the short track or something else. If you don't want to do qualifying stuff, heat races, go out there and run one heat, 10 laps, and you start where you finish.
You know what? That's not a bad idea either.
Or pick out of a hat.
No.
Yeah, pick out of the hat. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No, if you're going to do that, if you're going to do the picking out of the hat, now Short Track Saturday Night does this all the time. They'll pick a random number, and that'll be an inversion at that point.
Yeah, they do inverted starts.
Yeah.
But that if you do a 10 lap sprint for qualifying, it takes about 15 minutes. You do it right before the main event.
Yep.
Put everybody when the qualifying's done, you don't bring them back to pit road. You just stack them up and start the race that way, just like it's a yellow flag.
And
then boom,
there's
your qualifying order.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. I like that.
All right, Andy. Call Elton Sawyer and tell him you figured it out.
I'll call Elton up. I got his number in my cell phone, and I think he blocked me a couple of years ago. But
no, what we realistically need to do is call up Larry Mack and be like, "Hey, Larry, we've solved the qualifying problem. Pass this along for us, will you?"
That's what Larry Mack. Oh, burning rubber. Click. That's what.
Well, he might do that.
That's all you'd hear.
He might do that to you, but at least he talks to me. So.
All right. Pity on someone.
Larry loves us. Yeah, I've talked to Larry. He loves us.
Yeah, Larry loves us. Oh man, but no, I mean it definitely opens up a great point of discussion. So, folks, you know what? Same thing applies like we do every single week here on the show when we have a topic for discussion. We're going to put it up on our social media, so facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio, and we're going to try and put it up over on our X page too this week, where we open up the floor for comments.
The duck said, "Bullshit! You never do put anything up on X."
Wow.
But either which way, just because we haven't put anything up on X lately, we're gonna fix that. So again, twitter.com/BRR_radio or facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. We're gonna put the topic up for discussion this week here, and we want to get our fans' interpretation on everything here. So, do you think where they were at with qualifying this past week, should they throw it out into... Oh, damn, Andy, you were right. That whiskey's hitting me already. Should they throw out the qualifying, depending upon how far they get through it? Or should they do something like what Andy suggests, where...
Everyone agrees. Thank you very much.
No, they don't. They're laughing at you while they're clapping. And but either which way, should they throw out the qualifying order and revert to a points run? Should they have just let it stand and then the final two drivers just go ahead and fall in line in the last two open positions? Or should they take Andy's position on it and at that point in time go ahead and run a heat style race and then immediately just take the green flag after a small caution period? Let us know your thoughts over on facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio or at twitter.com/BRR_radio. And we're gonna be picking out some of the best comments, and we're gonna follow up on this a little bit next week, just for a short amount of time, because I'm curious to see what folks have for ideas when it comes to something like that. But with that said,
or Wayne, somebody else might have a better idea.
Yeah. That too. If there is that other choice, and if folks have an idea that they want to run by us, you know what? We'll hear you out. And who knows? If your comment makes it on the air next week, well, we'll give you a super shout out as far as
there
everything
you
is
go.
Oh, wait, we got a comment already. It said, "Can you stuff a sock in Wayne's mouth?" Oh, wait a second. That was a comment. Anyway, go on.
Oh my! Remind me to smack him later, John. Please.
Right.
Remind me to later.
I was wondering why he slid his chair a little further away from the table today, so you can't reach him over there and get him. So.
Oh my Lord!
Oh, good Lord! But with that said, here, folks, we've got to step aside. We've got to take that next foreign fuel, and when we come back, it is. Andy, it's
time to eat, man.
Yeah, it's time to eat. The NASCAR chef's in the house. Next period. Here we go, folks.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
What can we learn from a child?
That spreading joy
is more important than a trophy. That when we help others,
we heal ourselves.
That with a little love,
we can make the biggest impact.
At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
Because all children deserve joy.
And hope.
And love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future is our future.
And there's still so much they can teach us.
The grill is fired up, and the chef has something good cooking.
Oh, you're cooking, Frankie!
It's the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more burning rubber.
And we're back.
We are.
Yep, we are. It's burning rubber. Producer Wayne, Andy DeLay, and the NASCAR chef himself, John Dix. And John, man, this week, brother, you have stepped up your ability to make Andy go sit on the pot.
Oh boy. Not that I need any more of that, but what do we got?
Yeah, right. Apparently, John's got something really good for this week. John, hit him up, buddy.
Well, guys, we got a fun little recipe you can do with your kids at home. They're called taco cupcakes. We're going to start with, now this is the savory thing, guys. So don't get all upset thinking this is tacos with something sweet. This is the savory recipe. And we're going to start with 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pack of taco seasoning, 1 can of refrigerated crescent roll dough, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 1 cup of diced tomatoes, a half a cup of diced onions, a quarter of a cup of cilantro, some sour cream, and a couple of de-seeded chopped up jalapenos. Now, if you don't like them super, super hot, make sure they're de-seeded. You can leave them in if you want, but it's going to burn you up. Anyways, we're going to start with preheating your oven to 375. Now, in a skillet, you want to cook the ground beef till all the pink is gone. Then add your taco seasoning and mix it well. Gang, you're going to roll out your crescent rolls into little square triangles, and in a muffin pan with your muffin cups, you're going to take those triangles and put them in the cups and kind of push them out a little bit and kind of fill it up. So you're going to make a little cup to put the stuff in. All right. Then you want to spoon in your meat mixture on each cup about halfway. top it with the cheese, the onion, the tomato, and the cilantro. Place them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or until your crescent rolls are golden brown and the cheese is bubbly and looking real good. Remove them from the oven and then top them with your sour cream and your jalapenos. They're real good. They're real tasty. They look great and they're fun to do, especially with your kids.
Sounds like something that's going to make Andy do. Sounds like Andy's going to be doing a lot of this.
Oh God! I think he was over there doing a flatulence thing or something again.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that was exactly what we were doing, Andy. Did you not? Did you not hear yourself?
Oh.
I was gonna say. I mean, good Lord, John. He's already had 2 cupcakes and back to back. He's already stinking it up in here. My God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad he's cooking. That's all.
I'm glad he did move that chair further away from the desk.
Well, yeah, exactly, and we all know why too.
You got to wash your ass.
Yes, you got to do that, and then that dang duck run across the room and everything. It's just horrible.
Oh Lord, I swear. You know what? I keep telling Andy that he needs to get rid of Quacker because otherwise I'm gonna be doing that number more and more often until he finally gets the hint, gets to be like, the studio with you.
Oh my gosh. How do we always take poor John's spot here and delve into just horribleness every week?
Yeah,
John, I'm sorry, man.
every single week. But
I'm so done wrong too, I tell you what. But anyway.
But again, folks, all you got to do if you ever want to reach out to the NASCAR Chef and get this recipe or some of the other ones, or even submit a recipe to the NASCAR Chef, all you got to do is shoot him an email at john@brrtv.net. That is john@brrtv.net. And again, recipes, he can either send you the current one, you can submit one of your own to be put on the show. That or some snide remarks, comments, whatever you got for the NASCAR Chef.
And the folks out there listening on the radio, of course, again, if you go to YouTube and check out the show, you can see we have it posted up there and you can check it out there too.
Yep. Fast forward to roughly about the 45-ish minute mark if you want to get the recipe for the week and then go from there. But with that said here, folks, we're going to do one last full screen view of the taco cupcakes for the NASCAR Chef John Dix this week. And I got a feeling those taco cupcakes are going to turn out pretty good because Andy's already stinging it up in here. But with that said, we have got to step aside, take that final 4 and fuel of the show. And when we come back, news of the week to wrap things up for the week. The final lap's going to be on tap as well here, Andy. And some interesting news from this past weekend in Chicago. A force misses the field for the first time. Wow. So we're going to be talking about it when we come back.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
What can we learn from a child?
That spreading joy
is more important than a trophy. That when we help others,
We heal ourselves.
That with a little love,
we can make the biggest impact.
At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
because all children deserve joy
And hope.
And love.
And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future is our future.
and there's still so much they can teach us.
Burning Rubber is social. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
And we're back. It's Burning Rubber, and you heard the voiceover guy correctly there. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Also on Twitter at on X rather. Boy, I got the two twisted there for a second. On X at twitter.com/BRR_radio. Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. TikTok.com/Burning Rubber Radio. YouTube.com/Burning Rubber Radio. And Rumble.com. Search for Burning Rubber Radio. And boys, we have got to get into some final news of the week here real quick before we get over to picks for the Coca-Cola 600. And I am so thrilled for this time of year, Memorial Day. You know, the one thing that I will say that I think NASCAR does right more so than anything is their utmost respect and in not only honoring but remembering our military servicemen and women who have either served and sadly given the ultimate test of everything and lost their life in battle, or who still managed to come home but still have to deal with all those after effects. So
right. If you have any suggestions, get a hold of NASCAR to put their name on the car.
Yes.
I actually talked to Zippy a while back about
Greg Zippindelli, right?
Yeah, Greg Zippindelli from Stuart Haas about getting my brother, who was a Marine and's passed away, on one of their cars, and he told me he'd love to do it, but it's actually NASCAR that picks those names. So, so you need to, if you have somebody that you want to suggest, a father or uncle or mother or somebody, a friend, a brother, get a hold of NASCAR. And it's a little late now, but for next year, maybe they can put their name on there and give them a little shout out.
that would be something. But you know what? Personally, and again, I'm going to say this in NASCAR. You can get mad at me if you want to. Personally, it should be the team's decisions as to who goes on the car. Because realistically, it's their car that they're having to drive every single week, so it should be the team's decision, not NASCAR's overall. And then that way they can get a true idea of where their fan base stands, because those fans are going to submit those names to the teams, and then those teams can pick out the name. Just
right. Well,
Will you get to the Kyle Larson news?
Yes. We're going to get to Kyle Larson in just a moment, but. NHRA from this past weekend, Andy, was out at Joliet, Illinois, and Route 66 Raceway. And for the first time in 10 years, it's been a long time since this has happened, Brittany Force did not make the field.
She must have been sick or something.
No, she had a pretty bad run this past weekend here. She had struggled just getting the dragster to hook up on the racetrack throughout qualifying. Her best time in her top fuel was a 3.911 at 297.16. She was one of 6 top fuel drivers to miss the field this past weekend. But Daddy John, man, I'll tell you what, he got hooked up pretty good this past weekend. He didn't win overall, but he definitely did very well getting through the first round and everything like that against Alexis DeJoria and other things like that. But the big ones we want to talk about as far as wins go, Antron Brown in Top Fuel gets his 75th NHRA win this past weekend in Joliet. Matt Hagan in Funny Car gets his win. Dallas Glenn again in Pro Stock. And once again,
Gage Herrera
also won at the 6th of 20 races during the 2024 NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series season. And the thing with Hagan, is he is the first driver to go back-to-back as being a two-time winner in the category, taking down John Force in a thriller of a final round with a run of 3.998 at 323.31 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
So the fact that it came down to John Force Racing and Tony Stewart Racing in the finale, that was a good one.
That's cool, man. It's good and the rumor is Smoke saying to hell with it and getting rid of Stuart Haas.
There's some talk about that, but we're gonna have to see what happens because I heard a rumor, not heard a rumor, but read a rumor on X this past weekend that could potentially make some waves, shall we say? And that being if Tony decides to potentially back out of SHR and close it down because the team is just not doing all that great anymore.
Ford's not giving him the support that he wants.
No. The rumor that I heard going around this past weekend is that if Tony gives it up, maybe they or finds a way to maybe get Gene Haas to back out of it, talk him out of it, we could possibly see Earnhardt, Harvick, Stewart Racing.
That'd be something. I also heard Front Row.
Wow.
But this is all speculation.
Yeah,
folks.
it's all speculation. But if they do the EHS option, would be a possibility of going back to Chevrolet and having an alliance with Hendrick. So
that would be good.
But considering too that SHR wasn't even at the track this past weekend on time for Wilkesboro, Hendrick was out there rain prepping all of their cars for them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So some interesting stuff there. But moving on real quick here over to Formula One before we touch on IndyCar. And God almighty, Max Verstappen once again hangs on despite Lando Norris's late charge in Imola. And so Verstappen once again gets a W.
Yeah, Verstappen is the man to beat. They've got that dang Formula One down to a science over there. And there's no stopping him.
Yep. Nope, there certainly is not. But the big thing we want to talk about here and touch on before we get over to picks for the Coke 600 this weekend
finally
is, as far as IndyCar goes, Kyle Larson has been on an absolute tear. He literally, when qualifying on Sunday for the Indianapolis 500, so qualifying happened for folks that listen to the show later on in the week while we tape this on Monday. Qualifying happened on Sunday for the Indianapolis 500, and Larson posted a top 5 time. Didn't even have to go to the LCQ or anything. Straight up top 5 run for Kyle Larson in his first ever attempt in an Indy car. And then on top of that, literally jets it 2 hours back to North Wilkesboro, runs that car for a top 5 finish in the All-Star race, and literally on Monday has gone right back to Indianapolis with his Hendrick Motorsports crew to get ready for Carb Day coming up on Friday.
I'm such a Kyle Larson fan, and the way that he's doing this, it's real chill, man. He's not stressing about anything. He's just getting out there and letting those natural juices flow. In today's, did I say something?
Yes, you did. And it brought up a post I saw on X the other day, or yesterday, rather, Sunday. Yeah, and a fan had walked by Kyle Larson, had seen him as he was coming into the racetrack over at North Wilkesboro, and the fan was like, "Oh, hey, Kyle, welcome back." And Kyle looked at him, he's like, "I ain't got time to talk, I gotta take a leak."
Poor guy.
And sitting in the porta potty was probably the only 45 seconds of peace he's had all day.
Oh, man, they got him off the plane, on the helicopter, off the helicopter, on the cart, and he's like, "Stop the cart, I got to take a leak." But anyway, Kyle, I was getting at is, we have Jimmy Johnson and the Chad Knaus matchup, which is a GOAT matchup without a doubt, but that's a team.
Yep.
As far as a racer goes, I love Dale Earnhardt Sr. We've got our own Earnhardt associated with our program here. Good God, Wayne, go have another cigarette.
Yeah,
and
you got me all choked up. What can I say?
But the thing is Kyle Larson is probably the best all-around race car driver that I have ever seen.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep, no, that is 100% hands down all talent when it comes to that. Like Kyle can jump into anything, literally race anything at that point. And there's no doubt in my mind that he can do any of that.
Anything. You know, it's crazy. Enjoy watching Kyle Larson. Love him or hate him, folks, because there's not going to be another like him for a while. I just know.
Or ever.
That good.
Or ever, even for that matter.
Yeah.
He's definitely a GOAT candidate.
Yeah, no, 100% hands down. And not to mention a first ballot Hall of Fame option too, when it comes that time. And not
when
just
it's that time.
And not just the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I got a feeling USAC Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Potentially, depending upon how well he does this weekend coming up in the Indy 500. Probably IndyCar Hall of Fame. He's looking at Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Dirt Car Hall of Fame. I mean, he's looking at least 7 different Hall of Fame nods.
And I'm calling this before the 500, folks. There is an elevated chance that he could win the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day.
Yep. There very well is. And 1,100 miles, it is a task that not many have undertaken and been able to survive or do well, rather, in the final half of that 600 or that 1,100 mile run. So we'll see what happens with Kyle Larson this weekend at the Indianapolis 500 and then the Coca-Cola 600 as well.
Speaking Kyle, and yes, I'm a fanboy.
Yep, that the one time being a fanboy pays off. Kyle, we love you, brother. And but with that said, here we have got to get ourselves over to picks for the Coca-Cola 600. And actually, you know what? I'm going to throw one in there just for fun. We're going to make picks for the Indianapolis 500 too. Why the hell not? And so I'm with Andy. I'm going to say Kyle goes 2 for 2.
2 for 2, Kyle Larson.
Yep. So 2 for 2 for Kyle Larson for both myself and Andy. John, who are you thinking, brother?
Well, if he wins the 500, he probably won't make the Coke 600.
You're right.
I guarantee you they'll find a way to get him there in time.
So I'm picking our boy Daniel Suarez for the 600.
Boy, that's a pick out of left field.
Yeah, tell me about it, right? Like, that's...
Yep.
But
Daniel ran good at the last super speedway we had at Atlanta.
He did.
So I think I think he's going to surprise everybody this weekend.
Yeah, he might. We'll just have to wait and see what happens for sure then. So Kyle Larson for myself and Andy DeLay as far as both the Indianapolis 500 and the Coke 600. So John, you're going with Suarez for the Coke 600. Who you thinking for the Indy 500?
Well, I'm picking Larson. That's why he's not going to be there. So
yeah, okay.
There you go.
All right. So three.
I wonder what the racing enthusiasts is.
I got a feeling that I had a feeling that John's actually knocking on my ear here. He's like, "Hey, let me in." So with that said, here, folks, we're gonna step over here to the motorsports enthusiast John DeRugeris and the final lap.
And make us all look bad.
Oh, yeah, he's going to make us look bad again as far as bets go. John DeRugeris, take it over, buddy.
Welcome to the final lap with me, the motorsport enthusiast, and I am 2-0. I picked Brad Kay at Darlington. He got the win. I picked Joey Logano at North Wilkesboro in the All-Star race. He got the win. Let's see if I can go 3-0 at Charlotte this weekend for the Coke 600. Chevrolet has dominated the mile and a half this year with a win at Texas, a win at Vegas, and a win at Kansas. No matter how big the margins were, they've been dominant at these tracks. I'm actually going to go away from that trend this weekend. Here's who I'm looking at. My best pick of the week is going to be Mr. Tyler Reddick. Over the last 3 races at Charlotte, he has an average finish of 6.7. He has 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, and he has led 53 laps. Also, his worst finish out of the last 3 races has been 9th, so he's been pretty strong every single race. and in the Next Gen era, he has an average finish of 5.5. Another driver I'm looking at who got absolutely rocked this past week by Ricky Stenhouse is Mr. Kyle Busch himself. Now, I know he's a Chevrolet, but he's my second best pick as long as he doesn't get wrecked by Ricky. In the last 3 Charlotte races, he has an average finish of 3.7, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and has led 38 laps. His worst finish has been 6th, and he has an average finish in the Next Gen era of 4th at the Coke 600. Watch out for Kyle Busch. And my third best pick of the weekend is going to be William Byron. With an average finish of 12.7 in the last 3 races at Charlotte, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10, and 111 laps led, he's been up in the mix. He did have one race where he finished 32nd, but he got involved in an incident. Overall, though, in the Next Gen era, he has an average finish of 17th, but that's a 2nd place finish and a 32nd place finish. Overall, though, my best pick of the week is going to be Mr. Tyler Reddick to get the win, mainly because he's been one of the most dominant cars a mile and a half this year. He has the 2nd highest average finish among active drivers at Charlotte. Also, 2311 is opening their new facility, Airspeed, this week on the 23rd. I think it's all going to come into play. I think it's all going to align. The stars are going to align. Tyler Reddick's going to eat his MJ Wheaties and get the win. Let's go.
So far, he's gone 2 for 2. And Andy, not to mention, as folks were watching the video there, John was in an airport this week. So apparently he's been able to buy him a private jet with all those bet winnings.
Yeah, man, 2 for 2. I'm really, the Ducks even impressed. So you keep going, man. That's awesome,
Lord.
John.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. I'm not worried about the Duck being impressed. I just know that John is when it comes to his picks.
He ought to be. He's counting all those greenbacks.
Yeah, right. And so, with that said, here, folks, it is already that time. We have got to wrap up another hour of the fastest 60 minutes in motorsports. It's Burning Rubber Radio and TV. Again, folks, if you want to check us out, Facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Instagram, the same thing, /Burning Rubber Radio. TikTok is Burning Rubber Radio. YouTube is Burning Rubber Radio. Rumble is Burning Rubber Radio. And our Twitter page is BRR_radio. And with that all said here, for the NASCAR chef John Dix, for Indy Delay, I'm producer Wayne. And until next week, guys, in the Coca-Cola 600, we love you. Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.
Burning Rubber Radio is a production of White Lightning Entertainment with studios in Statesville, North Carolina, and was brought to you by Drive Refine. It's more than driver coaching, it's Drive Refine. Visit driverefine.com to get signed up today. This week's show was produced by Wayne Owens. Remember to visit burningrubberradio.com for news, recipes, and more great content. Burning Rubber Radio can be seen on Rumble, YouTube, or wingding.tv and heard on radio stations nationwide. Any use of the accounts or descriptions contained in this broadcast must be the express written permission of White Lightning Entertainment.